Hey guys, how you doing? This is KLA, Cloud the Wanderer, and I got my guest, OG Fit Bre. I think she's frozen. Can you
Yes,
hear
good
me?
evening. Yes, I can
How are
hear you. Good
you?
evening. I'm
Oh, I
good. How
didn't
are
know
you?
you behind the wheel. I didn't know you was behind the wheel. I would have waited a little bit, but it's okay. I don't want you to crash or nothing like that.
Oh no, not at all. So I wasn't
Yeah.
intending to be behind the wheel, but it just kind of happened.
Okay. How are you? No, I was asking, how are you? Can
Can
you
you hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. It seems like I lost you for just a moment.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, my
Yeah.
intention was not to be behind the wheel, but at the last minute, I ended up having to go pick up my daughter. So here
No,
I am.
it's
But
cool. It's cool. You could have let me know. I would have postponed it a little bit. It was cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I want you. Well, you doing it already. So, yeah.
yes,
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
yes.
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad.
How did you get started into bodybuilding?
Okay, well, I just retired from the Army last year. And when I first went into the Army back in 99, a little bit after, some friends had me go to a bodybuilding competition. And back then, it was really just, one category. It was all bodybuilding, just different weight classes. And I was just so amazed, with the women and their physiques. And it was just something that, I was interested in, but I was a little intimidated. So a few years after I came off of active duty, back in about 2008, that was when I really started lifting weights, because I just noticed that the cardio workouts and the Taibo and the boot camp things weren't really working for me. So I just started lifting weights. I got a trainer, got more structured, and then just kind of life got in the way. I had a child at 36, my second child. I'll be 50 next year. And so after I had her, then I really wanted to get back in the gym, really got a trainer again. And then finally in 2018, I was in my first show. It was the OCB Natural Show. And then took some time off again. And then recently, this past April, I competed again after almost 7 years, and I won my pro card. So now that I'm not in the military anymore, I have more time. I'm just want to, get into more shows and just get more into it. Planning to launch a lifestyle channel. I'll be doing fitness routines and classes online. And I actually have another show coming up in November. So really want to get back into it, and I just love it.
Yeah, congratulations on getting your
Thank,
pro card.
thank
Did
you.
yeah, did you knew that you was gonna get your pro card? Like
No, I didn't. And believe it or not, I was very surprised. The reason I was surprised is when I was in the military, I got injured, and I actually have a plate and screws in my spine. I have a cervical fusion. And in the middle of my prep, I had to get on physical therapy. So I had to pull back from the workout routine. But I had just been putting off doing this show for so long, because I was going to do a show back in 2020, but of course, COVID. And I just kept putting it off. And I'm like, I'm going to be 50 next year. I just want to do this. So I'm good with however I do. And I got my pro card, and that just really gave me more motivation. So I immediately registered for another show. And once I register, that's it. So I have another show coming in November. But yeah, in the middle of prep, I was on physical therapy, and I was also getting injections in my spine. So I had to take some time off. And then after I was able to, I slowly got back in the gym in the middle of prep. So I didn't quit.
yeah. So where you gonna be competing?
Oh, I'm competing in Virginia. Well,
Oh, okay.
the show that I just did is in Virginia. I'm originally from Florida, but I came here with the military and I liked it, so I stayed. So the last show I did was in Virginia. The other show I did, my first show, was in Virginia as well. But the show I'm doing in November, I'm traveling for. It's in Arizona. So I've never been to Arizona. just want to do something different. So I'll be competing at a show in Arizona.
Yeah,
A little bit
that's
before
good.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's good. I've been on. I went to a couple of OCB shows. I went to one here in New York City, in Brooklyn, and I went to the Double Down competition in Atlantic City.
Yes, they have one there. Now, the last show that I did, the one in 2018, that was an OCB show. But this show that I did in April and the one I'm doing in November, it's a league. It's called IPL, International Physique League. It's a rather
Yeah.
newer league. It's about a little over 10 years old. It's a little bit different. Has, your other categories, figure, bodybuilding, and everything. But then they have some other things like a touch of elegance. There's an evening gown competition, angel
Okay.
wings.
What is
So
it
it's a little
again?
bit different. It's
What is it?
IPL. It's going to be November 22nd.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
What made you get drawn to that one?
Well, one of the promoters reached out to me on Instagram because it is a natural league. It's drug tested. It's a sanctioned federation. And, she was just telling me about it. And it seemed interesting. I saw pictures. And so I just did it. And I really like it. I think it's a good fit for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like yeah, that I hope you do good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've talked to people that do like the gowns and all that stuff, competing on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like they don't have it like in the IFBB, and
No.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. Yeah,
It is different. And I mean, your gowns, they still have to see your muscle definition, of course, your arms, and your legs, the definition and muscularity. So it's a good blend because I'm girly. I mean, I served in the military for over 20 years, but I'm real girly, and I like the elegance and the grace, mixed with the muscle. So
yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, speaking of the military, like what branch did you go to?
I was in the Army. I was active for 4 years, and then I finished my military career in the National Guard as a reservist.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. I tried to do the ASVAB test. I didn't really do great. So
Oh, you should have went back.
I don't know. I didn't really think it was for me.
Okay.
I tried numerous times. I don't want to say numerous, but I tried more than
Right.
once. I don't know. Maybe sometimes with tests, I'm not really good at it. Math it
Yeah.
wasn't like my thing. Yeah,
Nice.
like but the
Well,
reading.
that's something that they recognized, and now they
Yeah,
offer testing prep services, to get people,
yeah,
because everyone doesn't test well. I mean, depending on what it is, sometimes, I deal with that myself, but there's a lot more prep involved because there were so many people that, just for anxiety or whatever reason, they just didn't test well. And now they offer testing prep services for the kids, just like they offer, like if someone needs to get in shape, they have people that will work out with them, help them diet. So it's a lot different these days.
yeah. Well, I'm 49, so they don't need me anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Like how was your were you like working out also like in the army?
I was, yes. Of course, with the Army, you have the physical readiness. You have to, pass your fitness tests, and you have to,
Yeah.
height, weight. So I was working out in the Army, but I did a lot more on my own. I mean, the Army has their standards, but working out with a trainer and on the level of bodybuilding is a little bit more advanced, definitely.
Oh, that's good. Like like on your first show, how did you do well? Like how did you do? I think you there was one show you had like second place.
The OCB show,
Yeah.
I was third place in the OCB show that I
Okay.
did. Mhm.
All right. Like what
Yes.
it now I was gonna ask like were they like a lot of like how were like the competitors like were they like were they but then again it's not always like a big lineup with the figure, right? For
Yes,
you?
No. And then I did over 40.
Yeah.
So I noticed nowadays that once they implemented figure and they implemented bikini, there's a lot more people competing because, like I said, when I first became drawn to bodybuilding in the late 90s, there was only one category,
Yeah.
women's bodybuilding. That's what it was. There
Yeah.
wasn't women's physique. There wasn't figure. So it's just drawn more people. People have different builds. People have different physiques. So I like the variety now.
Yeah. You think they'll have like a fit model division in the
I
OCB?
I see it. I see it coming.
Yeah.
Because when I competed back in 2018, they didn't have wellness, and now they have wellness. So I
Okay.
definitely see them, just wanting to have that reach with everyone. So yeah, I definitely see them doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I was at this podcast before we was talking and we was talking about how fit model can be like a distraction to other divisions like women's bodybuilding and stuff like that. So, some
I
people they're
kind of
not
have a
thinking about it.
Yeah, I have a difference of opinion about it because I would say fit model. I think it captures uh, a different woman. It might be a woman that might not have the muscular development.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, when they go in one category, they end up building and moving on to another category.
Yeah.
Some women are bikini, and then you look up, they are figure. I've seen women go from bikini to figure to wellness. So, it's just something for everyone. But yeah, I see fit model being around for a while. It's going to capture, like I said, other women. So I think it's a good fit.
Yeah. I know they don't work out as much as the other divisions and stuff
And they
like
work
that.
out differently, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
once you get into it and they're winning, and then you're going to be competing against other pros, naturally you're going to have to, step it up with your routine and have more muscularity to remain competitive. So
Yeah.
I definitely see it growing because I mean I've even seen the shift just from the look of different categories. The bikini women of today, they don't look like the bikini women in 2012.
Yeah.
The figure women of today don't look like the figure women from 2012, nor the women's physique. So it's constantly evolving. So
Yeah. Do you pay attention to like the IFBB or just OCB?
I do. I pay attention to it. I do compete natural, but I definitely pay attention to it, and that's where I've really seen the biggest shift. Just the women who were pro card winners or women on the national level, women Olympia, they look different as years progress.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't we let me showcase your IG. I mean, what
Okay.
is it that you do? You're a fitness enthusiast?
Yes, I'm definitely a fitness enthusiast. And, like I said, I'm 49, so I'm going to be 50 next year. So now that, I have a pro card, I just want to have influence with other women and just let them know that, there's a lot that you can do in your daily routine. Not everybody's going to, jump up on the stage and flex muscles. I mean, if you want to, that's a good thing. But just
Yeah.
as your life is evolving, it's not just about the aesthetics. I really pay attention to my blood pressure, my A1C, my cholesterol, and just that overall wellness. In the gym, it's not about, the aesthetics so much. I'm working on function and mobility. These are things that I need as I age. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
just
good.
want to encourage other women to do the same thing, women and men, because around this age, your body's changing, and there's still things you can do to thrive and just navigate this next chapter of your life. And I
Yeah.
plan to compete as long as possible. I'm going to be in a fashion show this weekend. Angel Bikinis, they make a lot of the swimsuits for a lot of the divisions. And when I did the fashion show last year, there was a woman there that was 73 years old, and she still competes.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, just the remarkable women that I've run across. I ran across a woman She's in a wheelchair. I ran across a woman who's an amputee, breast cancer survivor. It's just so many women are just inspiring to me every day. So I just want to do this as long as God will allow me to. And I love it.
Yeah. You know, there's a 73-year-old woman. She's not a bodybuilder, but she's more into holistic like foods and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, like if you look at her face, she almost looked like she just entering 50.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she was in the Steve Harvey show. Yeah, she looked like she could be a competitor, like, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look her up.
yeah. So this like how was after like what was that feeling like when you got your pro card? Of course you were celebrating, right? Like
Absolutely. It was surreal. And speaking of celebration, my birthday was April 2nd. I turned 49 April 2nd. And I was of course, I said I was in the middle of prep. So I wasn't able to have birthday cake. So the day after my show, my family surprised me with a birthday party and they got me a nice big cake.
of course, yeah.
Yes,
That's your
yes.
family right here. That's just your two daughters.
Those are my two daughters. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like how was their reaction when you when your pro card?
Oh, they were very excited for me because they know how much I've wanted it, how much I make, fitness a part of my lifestyle. That previous photo was the fashion show that I did, and I brought my daughter up on stage for the fashion show. And actually, the fashion show this weekend, we were on the flyer for the fashion show. My daughter and I were on the
Yeah.
flyer for the
Yeah, I
fashion
see
show.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Yes. So this weekend, it's going to be a Mother's Day fashion show. So a lot of the competitors, because the women that do the fashion shows are mostly competitors, and they're going to be bringing their daughters on. Some of them are going to be bringing their moms on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll definitely post pictures.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. You think your daughter would want to do what you're doing?
She's expressed interest in it. She's been doing some workouts with me, so I definitely encourage it. She's a competitive cheerleader. She travels. Yesterday was her last competition. Not yesterday, Sunday. I'm sorry, Saturday was her last competition for the season. But she's a travel
No.
competitive cheerleader, so she's athletic. But yeah, later on, she's thinking about it, and I
Yeah,
definitely support her.
she probably could do but the fitness division where they do like flips and all
Yes,
that stuff and yeah.
yes,
But that's
definitely.
intense. Yeah,
Yes.
that yeah.
Yeah, those routines, I mean, they really put a lot of, because you have to put a lot of effort anyway, because you still have to be, fit and, working out. But the routines, the choreography, it's a lot involved. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's the magazine
Yeah.
cover.
So
It's
you
a fitness magazine. That's the preview. The cover comes out sometime in June, and I'll be on the cover of the fitness magazine.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are basically putting yourself out there. That's cool.
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, you like I think like the downfalls of women bodybuilders, they don't put themselves out there because it's not, bodybuilding, it's, of course, it's a niche sport. So,
Right.
people don't like look at it, like my experience in that the OCB, I've seen a lot of there's people that be there's a lot of supporters there,
There
so
is,
yeah.
definitely. And it's growing more and more. People are, there was like this, I don't know, it was just this mindset, and women are more open to it now because the bodybuilding competition circuit has really grown. There weren't a whole lot of women doing it. And there's a
Yeah.
lot more women doing it now. And what I really like, there's a lot more women my age that are doing it. Some first time competitors, I met a lady, she was 54. That was her first time competing.
Yeah.
So I love seeing that.
That's cool. That's cool. Like what was your training like prepare for each show?
So my training for each show, just over a course of several weeks, I would up the intensity. The diet would change. So I would start out at 5 days a week, maybe days of cardio,
Yeah.
higher carbs, lots of protein. And then just over time, it would increase to about 6 days a week. Cardio sessions, finally 7 days a week, sometimes cardio sessions twice a day. It just increases over time. And I will say that I noticed a difference doing it now at age 49 versus 43. The difference I noticed is that I started earlier because I wanted to give myself a chance to be able to take on the increased training. So I did start a little bit earlier. I started my prep a little bit earlier, but I didn't have any issues other than something that I've managed for quite some time. You know, I hurt my back in 2001. So I, periodically I'll have to, take some medication, get physical therapy. So that happened in the middle of prep this time because I hadn't been in physical therapy since maybe 2022. And I just had another flare up and I got past it and I kept moving.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, I guess you have to have that mental discipline. Like,
Definitely.
yeah, what makes you like wanna like compete? Gives you like that urge to compete mostly.
Yeah, like I said, I just really fell in love with bodybuilding, how it makes me feel, and just seeing the progress. Because even not competing, you just see the progress. You see this definition here, and I feel better. And I mean, even with the conditions that I have, like I have a foot issue, I have an issue with my back. If for some reason I decide I'm not gonna work out, like even let's say I go on vacation. When I come back, I feel it because I'm so used to working out. I just like the way that it makes me feel, and then the competitiveness of it. I have the good sportsmanship, but being able to have a goal and pursue it, and you see it come to fruition, that keeps me motivated. And then now in this phase of my life, I look at it a little bit differently. I still, want to have my muscles and, my physique and everything, but it's more about function and balance. I want to be able to enjoy my grandkids. My oldest daughter will be 30 this year, and, she's going to have kids soon. And I want to be able
Yeah.
to enjoy my kids, my grandkids. I want to be able to travel and enjoy it and not have physical limitations, that, cause me to not be able to enjoy it. So that's another aspect of it. So it just keeps me going.
Can you rewind that? You have a 30-year-old granddaughter?
No, I have a 30-year-old. I have
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. I
No,
was about to.
no,
I was
no,
like, wow. Okay, I
no.
just wanted
I,
to get correctly.
I have a 30-year-old and she's talking about having kids soon. So hopefully I'll be a grandmother.
Oh yeah. Well, you had kids early. Like you
Yes.
don't. You look young. Like wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then my youngest is 12. So I have a 12-year-old
Okay.
and a 30-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, like, what's your husband think about you competing?
He likes it. He's supportive of it. He's like my biggest fan. Like if you roll back where they did the audio, you can hear him cheering me on. He's the loudest one there. And he's supportive. We go to the gym together sometimes, but competing is not his thing. But he works out and he's just my biggest supporter.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, yeah. Bodybuilding ain't for everybody. If it
Right.
was easy, everybody would do it.
Yes.
So, yeah, yeah. So like so who's your coach?
My coach it's an organization called Rare Breed.
Rare
And
Breed.
I was
Okay.
yes, Rare Breed, and I was working with Mike. He's my last coach.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like yeah. I seen you on Instagram, and I noticed that you attended the OCB, and I wanted to talk to you because
Yeah.
like I've been attending OCB shows,
Okay.
so yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
OCB is the largest natural bodybuilding federation. Definitely, there's
yeah,
more OCB shows than any natural league. Definitely, lots of variety.
yeah,
I mean, they're even going to other countries. They're in the I want to say the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and I want to say they're in Brazil now. So they have a very good stretch all
Yeah,
over. Nice stretch all over.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I was planning to go to some other shows, maybe with I think Baltimore. I think they
Okay.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been trying to see. Yeah, 'cause, I mean each show is different because
Yes.
like the one in Brooklyn, it was kind of like it was like in a college dorm and stuff like
Okay.
not a college dorm but college auditorium and it was
College
small.
auditorium.
Yeah, and so like the one in Atlantic City, it was more like more spacious. It had more space to it,
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, they plan it
it's
based
different.
on. Yeah, they'll plan it based on the number of attendees, the number of participants. Yeah, that's from my OCB show. hmm That was in
Yeah,
2018.
yeah,
That
it
was my
looked
first
nice.
show. Thank you. That was my first show.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at your first show?
I was very nervous because, this was something
Hmm.
I had been anticipating for years and it finally happened. I couldn't believe it. I had all this anxiety, but I was okay. But yes, I was definitely very nervous.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, go through that with the nervousness.
Yeah.
How did you like beat your nervousness? On your last show, were you nervous or were you more anxious?
I was more anxious. I wasn't as nervous on my last show because I had gone through
Yeah,
the process before, so I knew what to expect from that perspective. So it wasn't as bad. Um,
yeah,
but like I said, I had to stop briefly for a couple weeks because I was on physical therapy, got my injections, so I wasn't able to um, put the effort that I would have liked. And then when I did start back, I still had my limitations, but I mean, I kept being consistent. I kept showing up. I stayed on top of things, and I got my pro card. So that in itself just motivated me even more. And literally the next day, I said, you know what? Because I was going to do another show. Whether no matter how I did, I was going to do a show maybe a year later. But no, that really motivated me, and I signed up for another show in November. So I'm on a little bit of a break right now. I'm going to do this fashion show this weekend, and then next week I'm going to be back. I'm going to do like a 8-week intense thing there, and then probably get back on a prep and get ready for November.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will. Do they and that fashion show that you're gonna compete? Do they have like a live stream or anything where somebody can catch it?
I will find out. I'm not sure, but I'll find out for you. It's just a fashion show. They make a lot of the swimsuits. Like they make swimsuits for IFBB, OCB. They make a lot of the competition suits, definitely. But yeah, I'll find out and I'll drop a link.
Yeah. I'm curious. What was
Yeah.
I going about to ask you? Do you think like in the future would you want to be like a OCB judge?
Actually, I wouldn't mind doing that. That's one of my goals. So one of my
Yeah,
goals is to be a natural judge. Um, and maybe possibly when I'm, transitioning from competing, whenever that is, whenever I slow down a bit, I wouldn't mind promoting some shows and just
yeah.
maybe taking them to other places where they may not be as common.
Yeah, because bodybuilding. People don't really pay attention to bodybuilding like that. Well, I know but
Right.
like the average person, they'll talk about the playoffs, the NBA
Yeah.
playoffs, or the NFL,
Yeah,
something,
the
but
Stanley
not
Cup.
bodybuilding. Yeah,
Yeah, World Cup. Yeah. So,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's good that you
Yeah,
you
definitely
you're
open to that.
you'll be a good promoter. Yeah, that we
Yes,
probably need that. So yeah.
absolutely.
Do you be feeling like uncomfortable like in natural bodybuilding? Do you feel uncomfortable with like the drug tests that they give?
No, no, not at all.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
nothing
All right.
against other people, but that's just not for me.
No, I understand. I got you. So, well, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you. I don't want to
Yes.
take too much of your time, but
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on.
yeah, no
Yeah. We'll
doubt,
be in
no doubt.
touch. Thank you. You
Yeah,
have a wonderful evening.
you too. All
Okay.
right,
Bye-bye.
bye.